caught. Boy, I had to make my point about this wave. Watch for the sharks bounce. Sharks bounce. I gave it up and talking Cuban links. Tell her ain't no weak link in my Cuban link. Only like my age. We was gangin' since the platinum FUBU days. I got dreams of being Hova out your movie, yay. Listen, babe, so good you'll think I'm cool with yay. Okay, my diamonds dancing, I could Lisa Ray. Life is hard, but it's easy being truthful, baby. For real, overload. This is like I got like my pinky. Money, baby, we don't pay, but ain't ours. Bet it back, I bet I match it like the same style. Chopsticks for beef, from shutting PF chains down. I gave you prophecy, my first one, then you lamed out. Luckily, sold, but it wasn't for me. Still the flow raw, peep the way I bubble in these streets. Who can with me?
Nikki, baby.
Go.
Jumping on my that's why they call it trampoline. Babe, back on Monday, throw rock Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, it's a, he said it's a. Them pretty, you look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 woo, money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. Salty, they sodium, they jelly, petroleum, always talking in the background, don't never come to the podium. Chef Cardi B, I'm up, I see you at the again. While you was sleeping on me, I make 40 bands by 4 p.m.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Minnesota Vikings. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Ace! Here we go! Green, 90! Green, 90!
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he powers his way up past the 30. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st. Throwing now is Mahomes. He is going to find Hill here. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a 1st down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Attack here. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Now they try the right side here. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's Mahomes to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And the surge is going to be too much defensively. He's hit and taken down to the backfield. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And this crowd loves it as their guys hold on the opening drive. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. A 1st down throw for Cousins. And right away he lost the football. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes if they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback. They've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Mahomes. And going deep into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
I know some teams are leery about playing cover 2 because the strong safety's not usually a terrific cover guy. But in this case, he played it perfectly. Read the football and went and made the interception.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get, and then the players and the coaching staff, right?
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a KC touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. They go play action. Cousins. And this will be incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. From the shotgun now. Here's an inside give. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Let's go. Leave it. Ringo, 48.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Room here to run. And all the way in for Kansas City touchdown. A great effort there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs strike quickly here for 6 points. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. Butker now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And his throw is incomplete.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Cousins again. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. He's picked off just shy of midfield.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Ready, blue 45.
Mahomes will try again on 2nd down. Caught, Kelsey, left side. First catch on that one for Kelsey, and it's a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes, and this is going to be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Mahomes throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Hill, and they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards. A first trip to the red zone for KC. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Ben Gideon, tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
Blue 45. Blue 45.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. Escaping the pressure right. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And Robinson with a big catch. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Mahomes now to throw. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. In for the score. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
1st down. Here's Cousins. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Cousins on 1st down. And he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Third and long for Cousins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. On 2nd down, here's Mahomes. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Fighting through, and he's got space. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And Hill with it over the middle. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. 1:59 to go in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. That's out to Hill, right side complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Here we go.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And this is going to be incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. And out now come the Vikings. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Check, check. Lucky. Thank you.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. The pass rush specialist, D. Ford, in on the stop.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defensive coordinator. Body after body, getting to him before he can get started.
He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. The Vikings first down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. A 2nd down throw for Cousins. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Cousins. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They go play action. Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Cousins. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taking it about the 16. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Here we go now.
Final shot before the half from Mahomes. He's going to loft one. Deep left. It's caught inside the 25. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it and bring it back out to start the 3rd quarter?
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Butker now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
2nd down, Cousins. And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. D. Ford in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be and he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. D. Ford in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That's taken it around the 40. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over.
Ace! Ace!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
When big runs occur, sometimes there's a sense that things were pretty easy, and that one carried them down inside the 10. But getting into the end zone now, that won't be easy at all because you're going to face different defenses and not as much real estate to work with. Will they be able to run it?
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Ben Gideon coming in hard on the blitz. He gets him down for a loss of 4.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Now Mahomes. The quick slant caught. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Travis Kelce, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs just continue to pour it on. Butker now to add the extra point. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. Butker now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd down and 12.
Gun.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he comes back with one complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Cousins. And the Chiefs are going to get him. D. Ford. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
A good pickup there at 22. Cousins now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Throwing is Cousins. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again, it's Cousins. Caught on the right side by Treadwell. And he'll get it down here to the 43. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the...
And now here is another interception. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
They told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. He's going to look deep down the field. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. On 2nd down, Cousins again. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Vikings on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 14.
Watch 82. Watch 82.
Cousins to throw it. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down.
And my goodness, another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard 50-yard line. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. Going deep here for Watkins. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Chiefs use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. Butker now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. He'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now the Vikings now heading onto the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. 1st down. Here's Cousins. The left side caught by Diggs. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
It's caught by Treadwell. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Yellow.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
On 3rd and 1, it seems natural to just turn and hand it to the biggest guy you have in the backfield. But usually, he's not the primary runner. So for the defense, they're often keying on the running back because he's the guy who gets the ball more often, and the fullback is the blocker. When he ends up carrying the football, that's a heck of a tendency breaker, and now you're just trying to jump on his back and hold on.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Cousins now from the 50. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down.
4 down.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long.
4 down.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 15. And he's into the clear. The 20, 10, and he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a KC touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right. At the 20. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. He's to the 10, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Butker now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time, 1-play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. D. Ford in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. The Vikings on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 16. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And Diggs has it. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down.
Patriot!
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. That's caught by Treadwell. He's at the 30, 10, And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. That's fielded in the end zone. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And now here comes Kansas City. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it. Caught out left side by Robinson. A very solid gain of 27. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And he fires one incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. Now here's Mahomes. He is going to find Hill here. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Daniil Hunter. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Mahomes going to throw it here. And this is caught at the 8. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Here's Mahomes to throw. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And they won't run a play here, no victory formation. They will indeed try to get 3 more. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play, and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10.
No. Check. Patriot. Gun.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 30. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Detroit!
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. Might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Kansas City, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, add another loss to the pile as they drop to 2-8 now on the year. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.